What is up, guys? My name is Matt aka Trilliant, and welcome to another episode of Watcha Playin for FreeMMOStation.com. This time we'll be taking a look at a game called Stormthrone. It's a free-to-play browser-based game published by R2 Games, the same guys behind Wartune and Zombies Ate My Pizza. As usual, we'll go through the game and show you some of what it has to offer, so let's go ahead and jump right on in.
FreeMMOStation.com.
Stormthrone is a browser-based RPG that isn't really anything new. That said, I actually quite enjoyed this game since unlike some of the other browser games I've played, this one actually doesn't play itself, and the combat is pretty fun. It does allow you to autopath to the next NPC in order to make things a bit easier, but it's not really a requirement, and you're free to explore as you go. There are 6 playable classes too: Warrior, Mage, Priest, Rogue, Hunter, and Paladin. As far as class names go, there's not really a lot of originality to it, and you can pretty much tell what the class's playstyle is just by the title. Paladins being support and tanks, and Priests being healers. I chose a Hunter for my playthrough, a pretty standard DPS class, and I really just enjoyed playing characters with ranged combat types. Character creation wasn't anything special. You can only choose your class, male or female, and your name. It does have a random name generator, which created some pretty hilarious names though. At one point I had the name Boss Abs for my Hunter, but playing around with it a bit more, I decided to go with the name Quit It. Something about that just seemed right. Your character's armor also starts off looking like high-level gear, so probably around endgame you'll look kind of like a cactus or something because you're gonna have a lot of spikes. In the sense of a browser-based game, it's pretty standard. You've got your basic sort of interface, game icons that ask you to buy stuff, quests, and the likes. What I did enjoy actually was the comedic twist they tried to put on some of the quest names. Example, around level 4 or 5 I received a quest named Thug Life, which really isn't pertinent to the gameplay at all, but it did make me chuckle. It's little things like that which for me make the game a bit more enjoyable. The combat was pretty fun. It wasn't just point and click, and it didn't control itself. You actually had projectile-based attacks, and enemies do have a hitbox, so if you don't time your attacks properly or you forget to target an enemy, the attack will miss and you'll have a bad time. I also liked how there were boxes and crates scattered around the maps randomly that could be broken open for extra loot, mostly gold. It adds an element of freedom to the game, and it also helps to relieve some of my violent tendencies that I happen to get when a rogue crate just happens to be hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Traversing the map was simple, even though the game seemed to think that physics didn't apply in certain areas where there appeared to be a glitch in the pre-rendered backgrounds. The game does suffer from a constant low frame rate, which I think has to do with the way the characters are animated, since I wouldn't exactly call it smooth. The characters look 3D, but I'm gonna take a guess here and say that like the background, they're also pre-rendered sprites. The audio quality isn't very good either. Everything sounds kinda muffled. But I did like how they took an interesting approach to the cash shop. When you defeat a boss, they will drop free Pyrum, and Pyrum is the currency for the cash shop, and the free Pyrum you get can be used in the same way that regular Pyrum is used, with a few restrictions of course. All items bought with free Pyrum are bound to the character, and you cannot use free Pyrum in the auction house. I personally like this approach since it sort of levels the playing field between people that spend money on the game and the people that want to have the luxury of cash shop items without the need to pay. All in all, Stormthrone is what it is. You've played games like it before. They want you to spend money on the game, but this is one of the few that actually offers an alternative, and it doesn't play itself. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to give it a try, there's a link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe to FreeMMOStation, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.